Well, we haven't got much snow yet, probably 4 or 5 inches, and I've just been jonesing to get out and look at sign, get out on the snow machine, get trapping, but not much snow. It's kind of hard on equipment, hard on stuff, just be running with rough. So, but it's at least it's a little bit cold for this area, you know, 10 below, and stuff's freezing up good. So I'm gonna get across the river here, start working my way towards our cabin, and just see what I see. No traps today. I got a chainsaw and a sled, snow machine, and just gonna look for sign, kind of put in a little trail, and get out and about a little bit. Maybe tomorrow I'll get out and put some traps in. Lots of brush. All this has got to get cleaned up, but there's just barely enough snow. I came over here yesterday and worked my way through this first little part. It's just every year you gotta. This is just to get out into the flats. Quick little trip out, a little late in the day, but been having a good time with Ryder, working in the shop and stuff like that. But we don't have any snow, just getting caught up on stuff. I had a side-by-side that needed a new motor put in it, different things like that. So it's good to stay caught up with those types of things, but itching to get out. There's no snow yet, and not much you can do about that. Once you get out on the flats here, you get into the more grass and lakes and stuff, but just checking it out, cutting a little trail, keep going that way, working my way out to the lakes. one of the first episodes I did trapping stories with Sydney and Ryder on Life Below Zero. We're right here, and this is where they caught that nice red fox. I can't remember what season it was, but just walk a trail through that cottonwood and set some snares, and right in there is where they caught that fox. Rabbit tracks here and there. Beauty day though, gorgeous out, no snow or not, can't beat it. Don't want to hit any stumps or anything. Tussocks in here makes it hard to tip over. Easy place to tip over. These big 4-strokes. This snow goes great on fuel economy, good sleds, but heavy. Shouldn't say hate. So many kids not say hate, but never use bungee cords. They never work for nothing in the winter time, but I was in a hurry and threw it on there, and I'm just going a short ways, but I never use them if I'm going a long ways. They lose their bunginess in the cold. Well, I brought my old trusty 562 XP Husqvarna. I bought that saw when I was gonna go logging for our house, so it must have been close to 10 years ago. It's been a good chainsaw. I've never rebuilt it yet. One thing with these saws is that the recoil got 2 little tabs that stick down in there, and they bend and break off, so that's probably like the 4th or 5th recoil I put in them. This is the 1st generation of XP, so it doesn't have it's got a decompression thing but on it for starting it, but not as good as some of the newer ones. But been a great saw, runs, cuts, 62cc saw. Keep on going that way. I'm getting down to the flats so I can follow those lakes and wrap around. Just have to work through a couple of these rough spots here and there. A lot of otter on that beaver house way out there sometimes. Tons of otter here, so it's good to catch some of them. They eat a lot of fish, eat a lot of beaver, and they repopulate pretty good. Fur prices aren't the best with them, but they sure are pretty, and they make good gloves and stuff. And if there's a lot of them, we trap them, and if there's not a whole bunch of something, leave it alone. It's just common sense. So all in here, they just look at how many, all those slide marks is just full of otter. That's where they live. So you could just set some blind footholds and with a drag and probably pick some up, set some footholds on top of that house, old beaver house they took over. And they don't really like coming to bait. Every once in a while you get one real hungry, but mostly like this on their trails and stuff, just set blind sets. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Keep cruising. Find all your portages, you know, look for them. There's no trail, so you can see the old places where people cut or I've cut. Reuse these trails, same trails every year. It's important to keep them open, maintain them, or else you got to recut everything. And I always do these ones because this is the way to my cabin, so. And then other people do other ones. Roger cuts ones over where he traps and does stuff, and other people cut them where they beaver trap, and everybody uses the trails, but they just maintain the ones that they use the most, kind of. Always got to be careful in these lakes. They look like they'd be frozen hard, but sometimes there's some soft spots. That's a bigger track right there. Wolf. Old. Yeah, there's two of them. Alright, where's my turn light? Here we go. Here. Everything always goes to these beaver houses. Check it out, smell, do your thing. I caught an otter in here last year. Me and Sydney. You can see that's otter poop. Right there, fairly fresh. All their tracks running all over. Boy, they love these flats. Holy smokes. Yep. Wolves are still in here. Boy, hell catching them right now, as rough as it is. You get some bait out, some blind sets. Nice feed pile in front of it. Well, you recognize this view? This is where we found my moose. Cabin's right over there. Roger and I paddled up over there and then walked up to it and shot it right here. We didn't bring the antlers or anything out because our canoe was already loaded and heavy, and it's kind of the last thing we care about. But the antlers you can get about, I don't know, $7, $8, $9 a pound if they're in good shape, cut off, and they, even more if they're sheds, if they naturally fall off, then you could get higher price for them. So got the antlers here. I'm gonna cut them off with chainsaw for Roger. He sells them. It's not a whole bunch, but it's just one of those things you do. We do for one another. If you know, he came and gave me a hand and stuff like that. So those antlers are here. I'll just cut them off and give them to him, and he could sell them or whatever. But not really a big deal or anything. It's just something that we would do just out of courtesy for one another if you're helping. So anyways, to the cabin. We'll go over that way after I cut off these antlers with my chainsaw, and I'll throw them in there. So I'll cut off those horns for Roger and take the head, have a little bit of bait, and go check out the cabin. Yep, not much snow. Alright. I trail through the grass. That's crazy. Anyway, it's kind of cool to see this area. This time of year now, darn near December, it's just usually we'd have snow knee deep at least. But the good thing about this is that when you don't have snow, it allows all these lakes and these flats to freeze hard. When you get that snow, it's just so much insulation that if you get the snow first before it gets really cold, everything underneath it just never really freezes super hard. So it's good that we're getting it cold. I'd rather have it be cold right now. So cold than 20 inches of snow and not cold. Oh, right next to the cabin. We're right next to the cabin if you're on a snow machine. Or a trek if you're walking and canoeing. The crazy thing about snow machines is you're just right there. Snow machines just straight across, right towards the sun basically. You'll be there. Lickety split. Right over here, we'll check out that grizzly kill before we go to the cabin. Retrace Roger and I's footsteps here, canoe paddles. Sun starts dipping down, nose starts getting cold. There we go. Brown kill's right here somewhere. Track. That's where that brown bear killed at. So it's so important to be out on the land all the times of the year, which is cool. Is when you live here, you get to see it. You know, you remember. Oh yeah, it seems like forever ago I was out here and brown bear killed a moose right here. Now it's trapping season, and you could look at all this stuff. Same thing in the winter. You see what the land's like, what everything does. We have so much access, and then come moose season or different times when you don't have that access, you still understand a lot more by being out on it. So love living here. Life can't be much better, man. Out on a snow machine, snow or no snow, getting some fresh air, a little exercise, cutting some trail. It's all good. Go check out my cabin, make sure everything is good there, and head home. Fresh moose tracks. Always good to see. Heading that way. Time here. First time to the cabin this winter. Freeport's still there. First time to the cabin this winter. Still there. 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 Sti Front porch or what? Look at those two wolves. Came here too, a little mink running around. Yep, those wolves came. There's one bone right there. Old trapping bait I had kicking around here, and I threw it off into the river and it sank right there. And those wolves came and they just, look at that, tore that all up looking for that bone. I had that whole moose sitting right out there in that flat. They never did go to that. It's just interesting. Sometimes what they go to, what they don't, what they stay away from. Never freezes out there. Really good. It's always the last place to freeze. One of. You see how it's just been building up in there. I'll tell you kind of a fun fact here. When we got started doing Life Below Zero, very first time they do what they call casting with you. They send a group of people out to see if you'd be a good fit for the show or whatever. It was during COVID, so the camera crew actually stayed in my cabin, so they weren't interacting with anybody in the community. They just came out here, had snow machines, went straight to my cabin, and I did my first interview, so to speak, right by that birch tree, kinda. Wind blowing on the side of the face. Geez, this is what the hell I'm standing here talking to you for. The wind's blowing outside of my face, freezing me half to death. I don't know about this TV stuff. I'd never stand there like this so long, but that's where it kind of started, was right there. Doing that with a good group of people. So now it's all over, but still have all the memories. Nice to be back here. Wish I had my predator call, just to blow it for the heck of it. Beauty day. 41 today, 41. I'm gonna head home, and I know that Chevelle's pretty excited about my birthday party. I wouldn't want to be late to it, so I better get back there and see what's going on.